Yo, sports bettors, I have 11 player prop bets. Okay, we got NBA. Yup, it's back. We got MLB, 2 games, one game five, elimination game. And then we have the start to the Padres series. So I bets on both of those games. And then I also have an NHL player prop. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. And again, our bets are going to be on Underdog Fantasy, Prize Picks, and Thrive Fantasy. These are kind of like legal betting options if you're currently not in a state where sports betting is legal. And the way that they work is they allow you to only bet on parlays, but every parlay has fixed odds. So what you'll notice on Underdog Fantasy is you're always getting 100 to win 600. Okay, you're always getting 100 to win 600. Doesn't matter if you take overs or unders. We can change LeBron to an under. Doesn't matter what picks you select, right? You're always getting 100 to win 600. So essentially, we've kind of gone through the math before, but let's go ahead over to this little parlay calculator. Essentially, for a 3-pick entry on Underdog Fantasy or a 5-pick entry, because you're getting 100 to win 600, they're just giving you the implied juice of minus 122, right? So a lot of people are like, I get emails, or they're like, yo, how does Prize Picks make money? It's like, well, they don't charge you directly the juice, but it's hidden kind of in the odds they're giving you, right? So you're betting at minus 122 juice, essentially, when you're placing a 3-pick or a 5-pick entry on Underdog Fantasy. 100 to win 600 is a 3-leg parlay where every leg is minus 122. So essentially, because Underdog Fantasy, every 3-leg parlay comes out to 100 to win 600, you're getting the implied juice of minus 122, which just means when you're looking for good prop bets on Underdog Fantasy, you should assume that you're betting at minus 122 odds if you're placing a 3-pick or a 5-pick entry. 2 picks are a lot worse. You're getting implied juice of minus 137. A lot worse. So you don't want to be placing 2-pick entries when you can on Underdog Fantasy. You should never place a 4-pick, right? And the payouts are a lot better than Prize Picks. So let's go ahead. Let's get into the first player prop I have. It's going to be Maxey. Under 2.5 made threes. I mean, look at the value right here. We're getting the under minus 122. Every bookmaker is saying, yo, this under should be extremely juiced, right? Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, they're pricing this at minus 184. Bet Online, minus 156. DraftKings, minus 150. Unibet, minus 150. Caesars, minus 179. So essentially, like the way you should think about sports betting, the way sharp bettors think, pro sports bettors think, people who do this for a living, is you treat all these bookmakers as an independent data point of where the line should be set, and you look for value, right? Like as a sharp bettor, you're not trying to win every single bet. That's not possible. No one is going to help you win NFL point spreads 70% of the time. It's not going to happen. You're looking to win 55% of the time and have an edge. And it's no different when you're playing on these fantasy sites. You're looking for a leg up. You're looking for an edge. So you want to find these spots where the unders or the overs are heavily juiced on the sports books, right? Because again, Underdog Fantasy doesn't change your payout depending on if you take the over or the under. But the reason that Maxey under 2.5 made threes is so juiced is because the under is a lot more likely to occur, right? Sportsbooks imply win probabilities through their odds. If they have the under super juiced, it's because the under is a lot more likely. If a UFC fighter is wager 1,000 to win 100 in profit minus 1,000 odds, the sportsbooks obviously think that person's very likely to win, right? It's a market, just like everything else, supply and demand. More money comes in on, whatever, the Nets money line, the odds may go from minus 150 to minus 160. So same thing here, right? Same concept. Under 2.5, ridiculous value. So many data points. It's just rational sports betting. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All these bookmakers telling us, yo, this should be minus 150 to minus 184. We're getting it minus 122. Just rational. For sure, I want to be on that bet. So I hit it. Next play we have, let's go. Guardians, Yankees. Game 5 elimination game was postponed yesterday. Minus 130, kind of to minus 155 on the sports books. Bet Online, another super sharp offshore sports book, has this minus 143. We're getting it minus 122 on Underdog. Slam it. So that's the next play I have. And then we have Jaylen Brown under 2.5 made threes. So another play I really like. Once again, the unders are heavily juiced. So the value is going to be in the under. Pinnacle has this minus 144. And of course, on this positive EV tool, you're going to notice the better bets are at the top, right? The higher profit margin, huge discrepancy bets are going to be at the top. And again, remember that it's free to browse odds on OddsJam, 100% free. Any sports books you want to look at, you'll get millions of odds kind of updating in real time. You can use the screen. There's a bunch of ways you can kind of use this data, and all OddsJam does essentially is, take this data and present it to you in different ways. It's a no BS sports betting product. So let's head over to Thrive Fantasy. So Thrive Fantasy is pretty interesting. So I'm actually going to give you my 2 picks on Thrive. You would be getting 1,000 to win 2.8K if you were to place this on DraftKings. It's AD over 23.5 points for the Lakers Warriors. Pretty good game to start the season. And then we have Victor Hedman to record a point, right? So in a 2-pick entry, you're getting minus 111 implied juice on Thrive. Look where all the sports books have this line. You don't have to know anything about hockey. Am I watching hockey tonight? We got the MLB playoffs. We have the NBA starting. Absolutely not. They also have some promo on LeBron, setting his point line at 22.5. But regardless, this is a banger. Absolute slam. Victor Hedman, the profit margin on this play is, like this $1,000 bet in terms of profit margin is probably worth, hundreds of dollars, which we can kind of quantify, right? Like here you can see on DraftKings, 1,000 to win 1,800. When you're betting on Underdog, on Thrive Fantasy, it's 1,000 to win 3.6K. So literally the payout is, like 35% higher, which is wild if you think about it, in terms of profit. This is 1,000 to win 1,800 in profit. This is 1,000 to win 2,600. So that's pretty wild if you think about it. So this is an absolute slam, ridiculous value. And, we've been doing okay, kind of on Thrive. We started out very, very hot and then, kind of had some wins and losses recently. But we went on a pretty epic win streak with these 2-pick entries. So on Thrive Fantasy, we can see where that second play was on AD. It's right here. Anthony Davis, over 23.5 points. All the sports books have the over juice. The over is more likely to occur. You can see this line's on Prize Picks as well. So let's head over back to Underdog Fantasy because I got a lot more plays on there. So let's go over to live. And you can see, we got some more picks. So we went through this Jaylen Brown one. Let's see what else is out there, right? You can see right here is the MLB prop for Guardians Yankees. This is a play you want to be all over. And then there's just a lot more picks, right? It's pretty simple. I'm just looking for value where we can find it and hitting those bets because that's how you do it as a sharp bettor. You're looking for value, you're looking for stocks that are on sale, and then you're hitting those bets and making a lot of money in the long run. So a lot of plays. Here are kind of all the player props we have. Let's recap. On Thrive, we have on Underdog, we have Jaylen Brown under 2.5 made threes, Maxey under 2.5 made threes, Guardians Yankees game 5, Jimenez to get a hit. Prop 1, 500 to win $3,000. There's no reason we can't win every bet. Then we have 3 picks to win 1.5K. We have Grisham, fade him. We have Aaron, fade him. And then we have Jimenez to get a hit again, right? So there's no reason you can't include a player prop with value in 2 picks. So then we finally have, under 2.5, just kind of a different combination right here. So, hoping Trent Grisham doesn't get a hit and hoping this Jimenez guy who looks a lot more, he has a more professional smile. So hopefully he's more professional on the field today. And then on Thrive, we have, let's see what we got. Hedman, Davis, overs, points. So let's get it. Goals plus assists is what Thrive calls it, but obviously that's the same thing as points. Anyways, let's make some money.